latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Outdoors Outdoors with me, Mike. Telling you guys a bit of a review video on a product from Outdoor Revolution. So with me here today, I've got the Outdoor Revolution Cayman Curl Air. So the Cayman Curl is basically a model that was introduced into 2021, moves forward into 2022 with quite a lot of updates and additions. So really it was a popular model, and I feel for me, going forward, it's probably going to be as popular, if not a bit more. So what we've got here is almost like a slightly different design. So it's basically orientates to face the same way as the van. That way you can utilize your space a little bit better. You're not necessarily facing onto your neighbor's pitch. It fits no deeper away from the van than a normal awning would, but you go further along the vehicle, meaning you've got more usable space for sleeping and also kind of a canopy area as well. And necessarily you're facing the view rather than your next door neighbor who might be cooking a barbecue or whatever time of night. We've got a really nice sort of 120 HDE material, so it's 3000mm high-strength head, about 70 denier in terms of kind of its depth. Now, it's quick and easy to pitch, as seen from our at-walls pitching and packing video. I think I did this model in about 8 to 9 minutes, which makes it ideal for a small weekend, or if you want to go for a longer, you can still obviously do that quite nice and neatly. Each beam, you've got 2 of them, is inflated individually, and you've got a valve located at the bottom of each. It's a nice big dynamic speed valve, similar to a kind of a dinghy kind of style, so you can get the air in quite easily and also get the air out more importantly. Overall, it's got a slightly embossedness to it, so it actually sort of stands out and looks a bit more sort of premium quality, and that's sort of combated with these beautiful kind of big crystal clear PVC windows to get plenty of light in, but then you've got toggle up privacy curtains to get the privacy as and when you see fit. We've got a low level ventilation point beneath the window to help circulate air, and that's sort of twinned up with a bigger ventilation point right at the back here. And that's definitely crucial when you're sleeping somebody inside of there. Having that airflow in is going to really help fight condensation. It really is a great little pack size as well, so it's quite small and compact. And you've got the ability that you can make it bigger by additional kind of porch door that can go on the front. So that's a new thing for 22. Firstly and foremost, you've got a sewn-in ground sheet, which makes it more similar to kind of the Van Gogh Cove. So I think for me, it's more of a closer contender to the Cove, but the Cove has some features, and then this model also has others, so you're definitely sort of picking and choosing how you're best going to use it. But one thing is a bit of a hybrid because you've got a fiberglass front pole, whereas the Cove may be an inflatable version. Difference being with this one is actually you can close the front of it off really quite nicely. So there's a zipper that runs along the top, and then you can buy a porch door which then zips on and then toggles over to give you a nice big overlap. There's a door and a mesh door built into it as well, so you get the flexibility of a complete kind of watertight area or a full mesh barrier before you enter the main awning itself. So that is a really nice sort of plus point to it. The curl is available in 2 different sizes, so they do a low and a mid. The low is basically designed to fit vehicles which got a fixation height of 180 to 210. The mid's 210 to 255. So it depends on what you're looking to attach. The low is typically going to be more down lines for your kind of VW kind of style, you have transporters and that sort of thing. Whereas your mid's going to be more down for the sort of panel vans or low line motorhomes. Traditionally, we've got to be a bit careful with certainly panel vans like your Ducatos and things like that, just because the sliding door won't open up probably fully in that tunnel section. You can get it sort of half open to the first stage quite happily. I think it's about a 2.6 meter tunnel section on this as well, so that is also worth bearing in mind. In the tunnel section itself, you've got essentially one door which is to the rear of the tunnel, so you haven't got access to the front, again something the Cove has over this. Other things is the connection methods to bear in mind. We've got beading pre-attached or CADA, so there's a 6mm and 4mm CADA attached to it, so you can slide directly into a wind out or into a C-rail. Now, personally, you probably wouldn't do that. You'd go down lines of actually put a fixing kit on it first, just then you've actually get the ability to drive away with ease, otherwise it's an absolute nightmare. Other ways you can sort of attach it to the van is you could guy points in the corners, you can throw over the top of the van, guy it down the other side, and just pull the material nicely to it. There's also a sleeve for a pole, so you can clamp that into the gutter or into a reamer rail, so you've got a bit more flexibility there. And we'll go kind of in later on in this video, we'll kind of give a bit more of a closer view by picking the camera up and have a little walk around itself. With the porch door, you get a ground sheet included kind of for the area as well, and with the porch door, you also get the ability to have curtains for this front panel, so you can actually completely enclose it if you see fit. An additional bedroom can also be purchased for the porch door to have a 2-berth bedroom in that section, which kind of defeats the option a little bit of enclosing it because you suddenly won't be able to get through it because you have a bedroom in place. So unless you're planning on using a back entrance only, then I don't really see the purpose of buying an inner tent for the main section as well. It's more decided for something like the combo where you've got dual entrances. So for me, it's an option, but highly unlikely you're probably going to end up using it. I'll tell you what, let's have a little look inside the combo, the Curl, and have a few more sort of nitty-gritty details about what it has to offer. So now we come round to the front of the Curl, you can kind of get a bit more idea for this sort of door we've got in the front section. So it's almost like a 50-50 door, so a really nice big opening to get plenty of access through, but almost creates this little dead space necessarily here. As you can see, the Velcro, basically the fiberglass pole, Velcro is in place on the inside as well as feeds through a sleeve in the top. Now, the entrance section at the front here has the ability of it kind of toggles up and toggles down, so you get the flexibility of that. You can kind of make it sealed, alternatively lay that down, and you've got kind of a trip-free hazard in and out of the actual awning itself. So dogs, pushchairs, wheelchairs can easily access into the main part of the awning. Size-wise, it's a good sort of size, good amount of headroom to be fair, and you have, like I said, the ability of actually putting a two-berth bedroom quite nice and neatly in here. It's pretty much going to take up near enough the whole section, leave a bit of a back corner, just because the way it's got to go that way. But it's an offering, and something you can literally put up for an evening, sleep some inside of it, and then take it down during the daytime and utilise that internal space. The front door itself has just got a normal door, so there's no mesh part here, which makes the porch door even probably more of a better buy. But you've got clear windows on the inside, on both sides. So again, you've got great visibility, but then privacy curtains located behind it. So when you want to go and get that, privacy if you wish, you can do so. And then you've got a halfway point with toggles. So it toggles up to sort of halfway, or you get the full kind of coverage up to the top. And then you, like I said, they've got a little retainer beneath it, so you can just kind of roll it back. A toggle point will hold it in place, and quite simply. Into the door section we've got on the side here. Now we've got almost like a slightly wider door, so it's a great access point in and out. There's a mesh vent at the top here to allow airflow in here, especially when someone's inside. And then we can open up that door section, roll that back towards the same way. So what it's going to do is almost mirror image the wind out on, get words out. The sliding door on the van. Hello, I've made a mirror of that. But in kind of the section between the two areas, you can almost use it kind of a little bit of storage area, because the tunnel's kind of quite narrow on the awning itself, but big, so like I said, about 2.5, 2.6 meters on the vehicle. You do find it kind of is a bit of a funnel, so there's not a huge amount of storage area as such, and because you've got that sort of rear door just at the back there, that's going to be your main sort of flow when you want to enter kind of the van without going through the awning every time. You've got a drop-down lip like we have with the front into that section, so again, complete trip-free access regardless of where you're actually going. The beams admittedly are a little bit smaller in terms of diameter than comparison to say like the Van Gogh Cove, but it's still substantial enough that it quite happily do. In fact, let's pick the camera up and kind of have a little bit more of an explore inside of it. So as we kind of come in, you can get a bit more of an idea for kind of, again, the clear windows you've got through here. It's a good rate of visibility. And then what you can also do is buy additional spreader bar to go in the roof section. So we've got one just located there to get that looking extra taut. You can either have it dead center in the middle. You've also got points located on each corner as well. So you can have up to 3 in one place. And then you've got also the additional clips here for the bedroom section. A hanging point for lanterns located like so. And then Velcro tabs leading down to kind of your sort of access point down there to make it a bit simple to do. The big vent we saw at the back helps the airflow as well. And then as we come into the tunnel section, we've got that door in the rear section. Internally, we've got some additional clips, so we can take any excess fabric up quite nice and neatly and keep it all nice and tidy. And you've got a slightly higher pitch roof there to help sort of allow air to flow directly. And we can open the tunnel to the section fully in the door, so we can access whatever we've got on the inside of there quite nice and neatly. As we kind of come back into the section as well, like I said, how that sewn in ground sheet does make quite a bit of difference in comparison to the first version of it. Coming out, you see it sits really nicely and you've got obviously a tunnel section there. And actually, it's a good point to point out, you've got additional clips located here for the actual bedroom, and then you've got additional tabs for when you want to put those windows in. As we kind of hang around the back, you can see how well that roof section sits, and like I said, it's nice and easy to pitch that, and certainly when you've got the poles to add a bit more strength but also a bit more torsion into it, it's a great little thing. The canopy at the back obviously is rain covered, as we can see there, and then it all sits nice and smartly there. So overall, yeah, I think it's a really nice update. Plenty of talking points. The ability to add an enclosure on the front is a big bonus, and the fact that you've obviously got a stone ground sheet in comparison to what you had last year is also quite crucial. Overall, I think it's a very quick, it's a kind of a bit of a toss-up between this and the Cove in terms of what you feel kind of fits better. Depending if you want something that's kind of a little more boxy, more options of bedrooms inside, or whether you want an enclosure on the front, or you know, and maybe a less door on the side. But I think from a price point, it hits a really kind of keen point, something that's been very popular, and I think from a flexibility point, it's got it's quite tight, to be fair. It really does depend on what you're really looking to get out of the awning. For more information on this particular product, from pack sizes, pack weights, a list of all the features individually, you can check the link below this video, take you straight through to our website where we've got all that information at a touch of a button, as well as also other videos such as our pitching packing video of this, little tutorial videos we've got on the whole thing, as well as potch doors, and yeah, it's all at your fingertips pretty much. For more information, like I said, do feel free to let us know what you think of it as well. We'd love to hear from you and see if there's any sort of things that necessarily are missing on this, or you would like to necessarily see, because it's always great to have feedback from, you know, the end consumer at the end of the day. But all in all, that is our little video review on the brand new Cayman Curl in a low and a mid for the 22 season going onwards.